How's it going, PBL fans? It's Jacob, the coach of the Ecruteak City Stantlers. Welcome to Week 11. This week we are playing against Brenden, the coach of the Cinnabar Island Cyndaquils, and let's go ahead and jump right in. So first I did lead off with Static Shock because I want to get some good momentum going for me, and we see that Vesuvius is out. Now I do go for Protect just in case he does decide to go for Gligar. Also I have a Flame Orb on me to give myself the Quick Feet speed boost. And we do see the Steam Eruption out there, so I kind of have a feeling of what he's going to do next turn. So I do just go ahead and go straight away for a Volt Switch. And as you can see, that does a pretty good amount of damage. I was kind of afraid. I know this thing has had Assault Vest before, so I didn't really want to stay in and risk not taking it out with a Thunderbolt. Unfortunately, either by prediction or just deciding, well, you're going to smack Jolteon anyway, he went for an Earth Power. So that was pretty unfortunate. It did catch me off guard a little, so I did lose a pretty big chunk of my HP there. Now here he went for Focus Blast, and that was even more terrifying because that one should do a ton of damage, and as you can see, it left me all the way down on 4 HP. So already I made two pretty sloppy moves, but at least we got the Stealth Rocks up, we got our chip damage in. We really just wanted to pressure out that Pinsir as much as possible. Pretty much my whole idea for this match was if we could take out Pinsir, we could take out his team. I just go for Protect here just to try to get myself some extra leftovers, recovery, see what we can do with that. And he does go for Steam Eruption here, so as you can see, we do get Protect off, and then we also get some bonus HP back thanks to leftovers. So with that in mind, I believe, yep, it is time to switch out, and we do go straight into Popeye the Conkeldurr, because he is Assault Vest as per usual, and can take any attack that this Vesuvius has for us. So as you can see, the Steam Eruption does a pretty good chunk of damage. I was really hoping it burned me so I can get the Guts boost. So he does go for it again, and luckily this time we do indeed get the Guts boost. So there it is. And now we go ahead and get our Drain Punch off, and we do get a pretty nice little chunk of HP back, but unfortunately not enough to want to stay in against most threats. But regardless, we do have some HP up, and now we have gotten through the Volcanion, so, we'll take it. That's totally fine by me. We do get to take a little bit of damage from Burn, but we're alright there. So Pinsir comes out next, and the return or the quick attack was pretty obvious here, so I really didn't want to mess with it too much. So we just go ahead and we swap out and we go right into Dr. Drizzle again because I figured, well, if he has Defog, it's only on Gligar. I'm not really going to worry about it too much. Stealth Rocks are nice, but they weren't necessary against his team, if that makes sense. So I was okay with giving up Dr. Drizzle here on just on a death fodder so that we could switch off to something else. So there he is being tossed up to the wayside, and unfortunately he goes down for us, but he served his purpose this match, so that's good. We do go into Static Shock here because we do outspeed and we can get just some damage off with our electric type attacks. He does decide to switch out though, and he goes into his Gligar. Now unfortunately I did kind of, I guess, not predict that. I figured that he would try to make an outplay and just decide to stay in. It didn't pay off unfortunately, so now his Gligar got in for free, and that kind of sucked. So here I didn't know if he was going to go for Defog or if he was going to make the play and go for an Earthquake, so I just decided to switch out into Purple Haze. And he does get the Defog off and gets rid of all the rocks for free. That was unfortunate because Pinsir was in Bug Flying type mode so that he could actually take 50% of his HP, but we don't get that anymore, so that kind of sucks. As you can see, that U-turn did about 7 damage, so that was absolutely fine by me. And out comes Rivet, the Bronzong, so there he is in all of his glory, and we do get the burn, and it does connect, so that's always good. And as you can see here, the burn is settling in quite nicely. Now here, I actually applaud Brenden on always bringing very, very interesting and out of seemingly logic sets. They really seem to catch me off guard usually. So I go for Flamethrower here just to see what kind of damage I can get off. And it's a pretty good amount. It's nothing crazy. But then he goes for a Psychic, and my jaw kind of fell to the floor along with my stomach. But Purple Haze actually managed to survive on 4 HP. I don't know if we actually got lucky on that one or what, but we did manage to hang on just barely. So at that point I knew if I decided to stay in, Wheezing was going down. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I kind of had big plans for this guy, so I decided I'm going to switch out. Maybe I can get a Pain Split off at some point and get some HP back. So we're just going to go out into Static Shock. Now this is where I made a huge mistake actually. Bringing in Static Shock to take this damage was not smart because he was my my pincer counter. From full health, there was nothing Pincer could do in terms of priority to take out Static Shock. So it was kind of like as long as Jolteon was alive, we could fight off Pincer. So he goes for Protect here just to see what's going to happen, but we'll see how that plays out, by the way. So we do go for Shadow Ball, and it goes against the Protect, as you can see, and he starts regaining some of his HP. So yeah, here I'm kind of worried because I kind of blew it in terms of my win strategy of take out Pincer, then take out everybody else with my slower sweepers. So I was kind of sweating a little bit, and I honestly felt like Brenden might have had me at this point. So I do go for Shadow Ball, and as you can see, he does actually manage to hang on there. We were both kind of surprised about it. I didn't really know the set, but regardless, he goes for an Earthquake, and as you can see, it does take out Static Shock. Now, I could have switched out, the crit didn't matter, but I could have switched out to somebody else, but I decided that getting Rivet down to that much HP, that way Tapu Lele can get the free KO pretty much on it, because there's no way that that survives from that range from a Moonblast. So I figured that would be the best way to go about it. Just get that damage off, because you were going to die anyway, and then, you know, roll with it from there. So we do go for the Moonblast, and as you can see here, this is going to be successful in taking out the Bronzong, so off he goes to the Netherland, and he's out. So that's good for us. So comes in Pincer, and this is kind of where my gut fell to the floor, because I didn't really know what else to do. So I did just decide to switch out. I just went into Purple Haze. I decided, alright, that's fine. Maybe he'll go for Swords Dance, and who knows. But instead he went for Return, and unfortunately we couldn't save our buddy, and he does have to go down to the Return from Pincer. So a little unfortunate, but it's manageable. So we go to Oogros, the Garchomp, and we kind of had big plans for this guy, and it all kind of depended on Psychic Terrain. So this was kind of my new path to victory. I was trying to lure out this Pincer into coming into Psychic Terrain. That way Garchomp could actually fight this thing inside of it without having to worry about priority. We do get the Swords Dance off, which was good. I get a second Swords Dance off, which is even better. And at that point, when he sees that I'm using Swords Dancing, he's like, alright, it's time to get out of here. Let's switch right back into Pincer to really pressure him. We do get the Rough Skin, which is pretty cool. But at this point, we're at +4 attack, which is really nice. Unfortunately, it might not matter, depending on how this match plays out. But he does bring Pincer back out in the Psychic Terrain, which is exactly what I want. He goes for Return, and we know that we can survive, so we do survive on 27 HP. We also get some chip damage, but that didn't really matter. We do get to pop our Salac Berry, which ups our speed by 1 stage, so now we are 50% faster. We go for the Dragon Claw here, and it's actually going to be very easily taking out Pincer. So that was honestly a really big turning point in this battle. It was kind of like the choking point, more or less. But, you know, it is what it is. So now Shinjino comes out, and I was kind of wondering if this thing was Choice Scarf, maybe Tail Slap, so I just went for Endure just in case. He went for Retaliate. I was hoping it would be like a Tail Slap, that way he would take Rough Skin 5 times, but instead he just showed Retaliate. That still didn't really tell me much as to if he was a Choice Band or Choice Scarf version, but I decided to go with Dragon Claw anyway, and we do get the outspeed, which means that it was Choice Band, or it just wasn't max speed Choice Scarf. Either way, Shinjino down, and that's that. So when Latias comes out, and at this point, I think he should have switched into Gligar. That would have been the better play, just because I don't think Garchomp could kill it, or at least I didn't during the battle. But we do outspeed because we're +1, and we do get to take out the Latias, so that is always nice, and Garchomp is just really throwing the team on his back right now and saying, come on boys, let's go. On our way to victory. Now, unfortunately, I didn't really know what this Gligar was gonna do. He went for a U-turn. I'm guessing that was his only offensive attack. Maybe like that, Stealth Rocks. Well, maybe not even Rocks, because he didn't use them at all. Maybe like that, Defog, Roost, I have no idea. Regardless, I don't think it'll kill him, and I really don't want to lose. Like, I don't think a Dragon Claw will kill, and I really don't want to lose Garchomp, especially after such a great game that he's had so far. So we do go ahead and we just switch out into Tapu Lele. Because we know that U-turns aren't really going to do much to us. You know, we can take a couple of those before we go down. And then we just kind of start spamming Moonblast. I was going to go for Psyshock, which is what I had this week. But I kind of thought it was going to be a more physical defensive variant, which I think I was right. I could be wrong. Maybe it was just max defenses on both sides, Eviolite. But we do just go for the second Moonblast here, and that is going to take him out, and we are going to squeak by with a victory. So there he goes down, and we move to 11-0, and we do actually clinch our playoffs. So we are now in the playoffs, so that's super awesome. That being said, this match was almost like a wake-up call for me, and I don't mean to say it to just kind of like, hype up Brenden or anything like that. It's really just more or less to point out the fact that I got pretty lazy this week in terms of preparation. I didn't really, I didn't take a lot of things into account, and I kind of got used to everybody just bringing very predictable things. So honestly, it was a great learning experience for me, especially going into playoffs. I have a lot of new ideas brewing, so that's always good. Regardless, we almost lost that one. We honestly won because of a mistake on our opponent that we ended up capitalizing on. So that there's really nothing else to say about it. It is what it is. Either way, great game to Brenden. It was awesome. It was one of the best matches that I've had this entire season. Good luck making playoffs to him as well as everybody else. Good luck, everybody. You know what you need to do. And if not, I believe there's supposed to be a video coming out about it soon, so just keep your eyes open. And with that, we'll see you in week 12. I believe we were playing against the Magikarps. So wish us luck, and let's have a great rest of the season.